Of course, people will always want to improve what is working, and so I was soon to send memos like this to Mr. Big.
To Mr. Big, Jr., CEO, from Loyal Eye Minion, Director of Marketing. Ice changes. Hey boss, thanks for informing me of the changes in the Ice Girl program. Let me say right off that I have a lot of concerns that in trying to generate income directly from the Ice Girls themselves, we're losing the focus that they are there to generate sales and publicity for us. They were never meant to be a cash cow in and of themselves. More specifically, I have serious questions about the following. A little circle. Increasing the amount we charge the Ice Girls for Ice Girls t-shirts and apparel. Little circle. Instituting a mandatory exclusive geographic location fee. Little circle. Decreasing the amount we remit each Ice Girl per match sold. Little circle. Instituting a mandatory training sessions at the consultant's expense. As we head into our crucial winter selling seasons, I feel we should be focusing on moving the product, our matches, to the public rather than tinkering with a program that thus far has exceeded our expectations. Speaking of positive notes, who would have thought that your mother and the Queen would have become such great friends? It seems that almost every day there's a picture of the two of them in a newspaper. Thank God we have prior press censorship in regards to the royal family of Denmark, eh? Ha ha ha.
Of course, what did I know? After a couple of meetings too depressing to chronicle here, which ended in, let's just try it and see what happens, and let's not be afraid to try something new, it was clear that reason had no place and I had lost. So it was to be the worst winter of my entire life. Part of it was the environment, of course. Winters in Denmark are cold. This is not news. A person on the street sales consultant has to be on the street and in the cold. This, too, is not news. Now, maybe because we were a trifle aggressive in generating revenues from the sales consultants so that they felt compelled to stay out in weather that was not the best for their health, or mortality status, then perhaps we too at the company should shoulder some of the blame. Not a large part, and certainly not a legally liable part, but a part. And let's be totally honest, street waifs had been freezing to death for eons on the streets of Denmark long before Ice Girls and the Danish Match Company and Mr. Hans Christian. I smell a story that will get me notice Anderson. In fact, in a sense, we were a victim of our own success. Before us, no one even saw the urban dregs or particularly cared who they were. Because of us, suddenly they were noticed. Now, when one or two, then several of them turn up frozen in the street in the morning, suddenly it becomes a big deal because we had created the relationship with them. We were the ones who made these people visible. In the midst of all the subsequent hullabaloo that was about to break over our heads, I honestly think we never got the proper amount of credit for that. At first, we didn't even know there was a problem, to tell the truth. The first real cold snap of the winter came and went, and sales went up as usual, and things were all as they should be. Maybe in retrospect, we should have realized that t-shirts were not the most appropriate in winter wear. And again, in retrospect, the decision, driven primarily by the numbered guys, to delay the Ice Girls winter parka look until spring when we could get the parkas at a highly discounted rate was a poor one.